All right, welcome back. Sorry about that. I was late. I don't know what happened. Something weird happened with the OBS studio. Not the OBS. I'm sorry, YouTube studio. YouTube got their own kind of studio. I don't know what's going on with it. But welcome back. I was supposed to be with the members, so I won't be too long publicly here. But I got to get this off my chest. I just made a bunch of posts in the community section, and I'm going to briefly go through them. And what I want to highlight here is how despised dogs are. I want to highlight how much people actually hate them. I want to highlight how similar dog lovers' mentality is to mine. I stand by my name. I hate dogs. Big reason why is because I truly believe that everyone feels this way. Everyone looks at dogs the way that I do. The only thing that separates us is that you're also brainwashed by propaganda. You, the dog lover. I'm not. I've never even been a little swayed by it. Another thing is you appreciate the attention dogs get you online and offline. You appreciate feeling like you're a part of some club, the camaraderie. You appreciate the clout, whatever amount or whatever type of clout you get by saying you're a dog lover. You appreciate carrying out your narcissism, having power and control over these mutants, having them always up your butt, following you around, feeding your narcissism, making you feel even more important. Those little types of things, I think, is the only thing that separates me from the dog lovers of the world. Now, I'm sure that I have some type of mental illness, but this is not a part of my mental illness. This is not a part of my social disorder. And I'm sure I have some social disorders as well. But this is not a part of it. The propaganda. Many of you have been raised around dogs. That's another thing that separates us. You're around dogs since you were a baby. I believe if given a clean slate and you're not indoctrinated by any of that stuff, and you were to one day come across dog rhetoric and you contrast it with our rhetoric, you be a dog culture critic, guaranteed. Now y'all see these photos. I shared these before. These photos, there's actually some truth in it. I told you I've been into art my whole life. There's some truth in it. Not the obvious truth that dogs are lethal to them. I'm talking about the fact that they're alone This is a reflection of real life. Yeah, big, evil, scary looking dog. But where's the parents? That's like the scariest thing about it. Or, it at least makes it a lot scarier. Where are the adults? Well, inside of these homes, this is the scenario that plays out. Your parents are not going to save you. They're not going to try to protect you. They're going to do the exact opposite of try to protect you. They're actually trying to get you mauled. Whether they are conscious of it or doing it intentionally or not. That's how they operate. They let them into the home and they let the thing roam freely. They're trying to get you mauled. Irrefutable fact. But the truth is, dog lovers and their, nuttery is largely a front. Because think about it, like I said in the post in the thumbnail, what other pet are people known to beat on? It's only dogs. Which tells you what? No other pet infuriates people like dogs. None. Be careful with this video right here. I'm going to have to go over that in a different video. But that is very upsetting. This video's nonsense video right here. Now, this idea for this stream came to me after I watched a video by K Nunn, who recently uploaded a video about a man who slammed a dog on the floor, I think, something like that. I don't know how I forgot that fast. But he slammed it to the ground, which has happened several times over the years. And it dawned on me, people, they are driven crazy by these things. Nothing else infuriates people more than dogs. That's just what it is. Why is that? Why is that? It's because dogs are hateable. They are despicable, annoying. They're extremely easy to hate. Now, I can't show some of these videos, but here you see the owner threw his dog to the ground inside of a gas station and punched it several times. This video right here. You see what I wrote? Dogs making owners happy. Which is my swipe at these therapy dogs. I mean, when y'all take a gander at all these videos, keep in mind that they're hauling these dogs into thousands of schools like every day as therapy dogs. When actually, these things drive more people crazy than any other pet by far. It's not even close. That's why they need so much promotion. And even with the promotion, people are still driven crazy. This guy, I think this is the, no, this is a different one. Where he slammed his dog to the ground, then he kicked it. I mean, dogs bring out the worst in dog lovers. And y'all want to tell us these things are therapeutic and bring you joy? See, that's y'all's craziness talking. That's y'all's psychopathic, y'all's unstable mental illness talking when you say stuff like that. And I'm saying this because I know many of you dog lovers listening have slapped your own dog around before, probably still do, and probably did more than that. A lot more. Why? Because these things are annoying. They're dumb. They act dumb, look dumb. They stink. Leave hair everywhere. Always urinate, defecate everywhere. Always begging for food. Always up in your face, begging, stealing stuff. Whenever you hear from the people who spaz out on these worthless turds, they always say that the dog did something like that. Oh, it urinated. Oh, it did this, it did that. This is the story that K9 did a video on. And I do think this one is kind of safe. Let's check this one out.
Disturbing video tonight shows the moments Osceola County deputies say a man threw a dog to the ground at an apartment complex. That suspect is now out on bond tonight. And as West 2's Tony Atkins reports, detectives say an inconvenience is what sparked it all. A warning, the video is hard to watch, and we've frozen it before the most graphic parts.
Deputies say this man, Martin Zulega, is charged with animal abuse after a few seconds of frustration were caught on camera. Deputies say this is him, frustrated, carrying a small dog out of frame.
How can he get that frustrated with the dog that's supposed to be so therapeutic and bring so many people so much joy? Why is this common, if that's the case?
When he walks out of the view, he's actually slamming the dog, which is named Lily, who's an Australian Shepherd, against the railing, and is contemplating throwing her from the third floor.
Shortly after.
That happens a lot too. Dogs are always flying off balconies, rooftops, getting tossed over bridges. Look at the collective hatred that dog lovers themselves show for dogs. No other pet owner does that to their pet. Y'all want to convince us that these things are the most wonderful things in the world and they deserve free food and water and shelter? No, thank you. Euthanize them. Save us the trouble.
After he comes back into the frame, he throws the dog to the ground. Now, we've decided to freeze this disturbing.
He threw that mutt to the ground with tremendous force. He slapped it to the ground. Look at how angry these dogs make these people. Because we're natural enemies.
Video before the dog makes impact with the concrete floor.
Violently takes the dog over his shoulder, slams her to the concrete. The dog yelped.
Well, shut up. I don't want to hear all that. Don't ignore all the years where he took care of that worthless parasite. All the bags of dog food he bought for it. These things live in a pampered, privileged life generationally. Some of them get slapped around. It don't sound, there's a give and take with everything. Look at it like that.
Bounces and takes off running.
Sheriff Marco Lopez says it happened the morning of December 26th at the Jameson Loop Apartments in Kissimmee. Zulega was in town from Coral Springs visiting family for the holidays.
The amount of force he uses is just disgusting and disturbing and unacceptable, and it's a miracle.
And it's a reflection of how angry he was. How could something so therapeutic make people this angry? You can look at it how you want to. Of course, you're going to look at it like a nutter. But answer my question.
that he didn't kill this dog.
Lopez says Lily did suffer some injuries from the attack, even though she was able...
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look, he almost threw his arm out of socket when he did that. You see that?
That he didn't kill this dog.
Lopez...
You see that?
The amount of force he uses is just disgusting and disturbing and unacceptable, and it's a miracle that he didn't kill this dog.
All right, boy.
Lopez says
Look at
Lily
him.
did suffer some injuries from
He
the...
suffered. He almost dislocated his collarbone or his shoulder with that maneuver there. Again, look at how angry. He was so angry, he hurt himself. So angry, he lost, his sense of protecting himself. That's serious. Why don't we talk about that? Along with your nuttery talk. Just no concern for the people at all, right? That's what it is.
Injuries from the attack, even though she was
Driving
able...
yourself crazy. Some of these dog lovers are literally reducing their lifespan dealing with these dumb dogs.
to run away.
She was diagnosed to have a dilated pupil in her left eye, which could indicate that she had received some type of trauma. Also, she had deep tissue bruising on her underbelly.
When asked why he allegedly threw Lily,
He said that he did it because she pooped and peed on the rug.
court rec...
There you go. Just like I said. One of the reasons why these things get slapped around. They're extremely hateable. Dumb and hateable. People don't have this problem with other pets. Now, most pets don't wander around, but even with cats, they'll seek out the litter box, from what I understand. Dogs, sometimes they never are trained because they're so dumb and that's because they're only built to operate like a parasite, a food-consuming parasite.
Records say Zulega is out on bond and was ordered not to have pets in his possession as part of his pretrial release.
So Lily will be safe from harm, and she will never return to that monster.
You don't know if it'll be safe from harm. That dog might infuriate somebody else again. What are you talking about? The problem still exists. An annoying dog. Talking like y'all solved the problem. No. These people. Get a load of these people. Did y'all hear about this story? This actually surfaced 3 days ago. I think I may have talked about this. No, I didn't. I watched it, but I didn't talk about it.
Tonight, an urgent search underway for the person responsible for throwing 2 dogs off a bridge in Mobile.
Investigators say
Threw 2 dogs off of a very high bridge.
someone in a black SUV pulled over on Dog River Bridge, throwing the 2 dogs you see on your screen
Threw them off of the Dog River Bridge
into the water.
Our Natalie Williamson has been looking into all of this for you. And Natalie, this story has gotten a lot of people's attention.
Yeah, that's right, Lenny St. Cameron. As soon as word got out, community members were doing everything they could to try and find who did this and to make sure the dogs are okay. I spoke to one man who says he heard the dogs hitting the water, and after he realized what happened, he immediately called for help.
The urgent search for an individual who threw 2 dogs off Dog River Bridge is underway. It was Saturday afternoon around 3:30 when DJ Perryman was at the River Shack. That's when he says he heard a loud splash in the water. After hearing gasps from other people, he turned around and was shocked, prompting him to call 911.
We first thought it was a person jumping, and then we looked out and saw the 2 heads swimming and realized it wasn't a person but an animal. Weren't sure what immediately, but...
According to police, these 2 miniature pinschers were thrown off the top of Dog River Bridge, which stands 73 feet above water. Investigators say the person responsible for this was last seen driving a black SUV. Lieutenant Tina Zanko with Mobile Police Department says...
Look at that. So how crazy is that? They just pulled up, stopped on the bridge, broad daylight, and tossed them over the bridge. Didn't think about cameras at all, did you?
Black SUV. Lieutenant Tina Zanko with Mobile Police Department says with the help of people nearby, they were able to locate the dogs.
And now you're going to rehome them so they can annoy somebody else and get tossed off another bridge. And look at it, all scared. They get like that because they assume that we're going to attack it the way they attack everything that's smaller than them. It's really a reflection of how despicable and evil and disgusting they are. The way they are scared of everything. They do that because they expect us to be just like them.
That's when she called Corporal Paul Lee, assigned to Marine Detail with MPD, who was off duty at the time, to help rescue these furry friends.
I was actually already in the water.
They're obviously not friends. People didn't want them.
Recreating and just went ahead and responded to the incident site.
Zanka, who has been a part of the police department for over 25 years, says in all her years of experience, she has never seen this act of animal cruelty. Lieutenant Bailey McDonough with Daphne Search and Rescue says he was also in the area just moments after it's believed the two dogs were thrown off the bridge.
Just so happened I was taking the truck to get fueled up that afternoon and...
Shut up. Nobody cares. I want to hear your stupid hero story.
After 2 hours of searching and trying to get these two little ones, crews finally caught them and brought them back to shore where they were bundled in towels and given lots of love and attention.
That they were not aware of and did not appreciate one bit. They're not built, they're not designed to understand or be receptive to your stupid love. And what you say, affection? Get out of here. So you just wasted it on a worthless piece of trash. And now what you gonna do? What you gonna do with them now?
And given lots of love and attention. And while investigators are still searching for the suspect, the City of Mobile Animal Services says these two dogs are in good health and spirits, as their foster family ensures they get the care they deserve.
They don't deserve nothing but euthanasia. Yeah, get that through y'all's thick skull. These child predators don't deserve nothing but euthanasia, preemptively. I don't care what type of attack record they got. These filthy things are child predators. Get out of here. But I digress. Look at how upset these people were. You know, they actually caught these people. It was an old lady, and she told her 18-year-old son to throw him off the bridge. Some of you may have seen that. She was like an elderly lady. Stopped and told him, and they arrested them both. And when they arrested him, the 18-year-old said, she told me to do it. Can't make this up. What about this joker? This surfaced 2 days ago. What's going on here? These things are so lovable, right? So sweet pooches. You hear her trying to rub it in that report I just showed. Oh, so sweet and loving pooches. No, they're annoying, stinking, nasty beasts.
New at 6, a Martin County teenager is behind bars after investigators say he killed a dog that was gifted to him. Caleb Califano spoke with the sheriff about the case.
So listen to that. He still didn't want it. That thing must have really got on his nerves. It must have really made him sick and turned him off. The boy was only 16 years old, people. He thought he liked dogs. He thought he was under the dog propaganda. That's why they got him a dog. Spent some time with it, figured out, I hate these things.
The charges the teenager is now facing.
Sheriff William Snyder says they've seen a number of cases of animal cruelty in Martin County, but ones like this are exceedingly rare. A 16-year-old from Indiantown is now facing felony charges after the Martin County Sheriff's Office says he stabbed to death a dog that was gifted to him by a friend.
This is a felony animal cruelty case.
Okay, so what you gonna try a 16-year-old as an adult? Felony cruelty. Dude, it's no different from killing a chicken. Y'all kill them every day in mass. Killing a cow, it's worse than killing a cow. Y'all kill cows all the time. Talk to me about no felony.
And it's horrific because the dog was tied up and then repeatedly stabbed. You see it right there in the video.
The sheriff says that video was shared with a group chat.
Tied up and repeatedly stabbed. Many of these animals get tortured. They die slow. They get stabbed. They bleed out slow. Same thing. The dog is not going to get any more sympathy from me than those other animals. In fact, they don't even get as much. Let's say the general public. These dogs deserve no more. They don't deserve any more respect, consideration, or sympathy than farm animals. Chickens, turkeys, cows, pigs. If y'all don't feel sorry for those animals, I don't want to hear nothing about these parasites.
Before making its way to social media, when the sheriff's office finally questioned the teenager, he had first denied that he killed the dog before finally admitting to the crime.
We're always worried when a young person, in this case a 16-year-old, exhibits that kind of violence towards a helpless animal.
No, shut up. That 16-year-old was a victim. He was a victim of y'all's nuttery. Y'all assuming that you can force dogs onto everybody. Y'all the ones who really responsible. But how you force them on everybody? It's a 16-year-old boy. He was a victim of y'all's BS. How come y'all didn't just sit back and let him decide whether or not he liked dogs or wanted a dog? Get out of here.
Animal that's tied up to a tree, that it may be an indicator of a
No, it's an indicator of how crazy y'all drove him.
Problem. We know in our industry that oftentimes people that abuse animals and torture animals go on to commit crimes against persons.
This kind of animal cruelty is considered a third-degree felony.
No, it don't. Shut up. And we don't know why he just shut up. I've never believed that. People kill animals every day, all day. And never go on to kill people.
A third-degree felony in Florida, it could come with a fine of up to $10,000 or even prison time. Sheriff Snyder says in the case of this teenager, what he needs is help.
I mean, in my wildest dreams, I can't picture why somebody does something like that. I hope that at the end of the day, he gets some help.
The sheriff's office says they've gotten more tips that the teen may be involved in more animal cruelty cases.
You know, it would help if y'all stop forcing dogs onto them. You ever think about that? It would help if y'all just stop doing that. Stop doing that. Huh? I mean, and this is the tip of the iceberg as far as these people spazzing out.
I'm an animal lover, I'm a dog lover, and it broke my heart to see that somebody would do what I saw to Maggie.
IMPD asking for your help tonight, tracking down a man accused of brutally abusing a dog. That man, 23-year-old Robert Cole, is charged with torturing the dog, a level 6 felony. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bob Donaldson.
I'm Debbie Knox. That incident, all caught on camera, is so disturbing that IMPD says they won't release it.
CBS 4's Jenny Drasler has more on the dog's recovery tonight.
That I got.
Sometimes the happiest of wagging tails can...
Now, you heard him just say that he was charged with torturing a dog. Y'all heard that loud and clear. Do they ever say that when a child is killed by a dog? You ain't never heard them say the child was tortured by the dog. Ever, ever, ever. They don't want to instill that into your mind. Only dogs can be tortured. This type of propaganda should infuriate people with any amount of humanity inside of them.
Sometimes the happiest of wagging tails can hide the saddest stories. Maggie. And you'd never know by looking at Maggie.
That's a good girl.
The tale she has to tell.
Everybody that's been with her has gotten kisses on the face, and whether you've given her a treat.
Listen, she said everybody who's been with this dog has gotten kisses on the face. This is exactly the type of person. It's a big reason why I'll never go around dog lovers. Ever. Especially never go into their home. They're going to release their dog, allow it to violate you, and they're going to expect for you to let it lick you in the face and going to call it kisses. But like I said, y'all hate these things. And y'all show outwardly some of the most hate. When the things come up to you to so-called kiss you, what do? Y'all turn your head away. You turn your face away. Y'all can't even be affectionate with these things in person.
Face, and whether you've given her a treat or not, she just wants to be your friend.
And think about that. This thing is just begging for food, like the parasite that it is. No, it's licking your face. It's not kissing you. It's begging for food. And look at how excessive it is. It licks the face of complete strangers and everything. Why? Because it's functioning like a parasite that only views humans as a source of food. So with each new human, it goes up, sniffs, and licks. Because currently, its owner is not giving it any food. It's disgusting and embarrassing. That most people haven't even figured this out.
Has gotten kisses on the face, and whether you've given her a treat or not, she just wants to be your friend.
Kisses your face whether you've given it a treat or not. Because, dummy, it's begging for the treat. And if it eats one and licks your face again, it's begging for another one. It's not being sweet. That's what you idiots always trying to project it as. It's not being loving, you dimwit.
According to a probable cause affidavit, Maggie was first brought to Indy Humane on June 21st by 23-year-old Robert Cole. Cole claimed Maggie had been hit by a car and he couldn't afford to pay the $5,000 vet bill to fix her.
Ooh, that's another reason why dog duttery ain't going nowhere. How dumb. Boy, how dumb do you have to be? You get a dog for $25. You're going to go spend $5,000 on it?
Scar was right here.
She needed surgery and multiple pins and plates to fix
all it should have gotten is euthanasia. That would have been a lot cheaper.
Her leg.
You had to try pretty hard to break that bone, so a car hitting her would be conducive to that kind of an injury.
Maggie was given back to Cole a few weeks later once she healed. But as Indy Humane and IMPD later found out, the story that Maggie was hit by a car didn't add up. According to the affidavit, video captured by a home...
Man, that's disgusting too. The way they scratch these dogs' chests like that is nasty. You know underneath these people's fingernails is so full of nastiness and filth.
Didn't add up. According to the affidavit, video captured by a home surveillance camera shows Robert Cole repeatedly abusing Maggie on June 18th. Documents state the video shows Cole grab Maggie by the neck and punch her 11 times.
People generally, they don't display this type of anger. Dogs actually infuriate these people more than anything else. I'm sure these people get angry at their family members all the time. They never do all this to them. It's because dogs are so hateable. They're easy to hate and impossible to love.
Times with a closed fist, slam her to the ground, and stomp on her back leg.
Showed a pretty horrific incident, and I'll say that it's so bad that we're not releasing it to the public. This was a horrific act. Watching the video broke my heart.
When pressed about what happened, documents show Cole told police he has anger issues and lost his temper because Maggie had chewed on the floor.
There you go. Chewed on the floor. See, these people they're dealing with small frustrations, and it builds up over time. And then suddenly they just snap. This is the tip of the iceberg of how annoying this thing is to this guy. Not loving. Man's worst enemy. And y'all should not be hauling these things into schools, calling them therapy animals.
And he admitted he did do what police saw in the video, but said he didn't break her leg and insisted she was hit by a car.
No animal should ever be treated like this.
Tonight, Cole now faces a level 6 felony charge for torturing.
Shut up. These are not animals. And there they use the word torturing again. There was a dog attack that went down like yesterday or something. It involved, I think, a 2-year-old. Right? Let me see if I can pull that up here real quick. I think it surfaced like, I think it was like 2 days ago, something like that. Let's see. Bear with me here. I have to find this. Here it is. Yeah, 2024. Okay, good. We got this on YouTube too. Now let me switch. Y'all can see this here.
A heartbreaking tragedy out of Wichita Falls. A 2-year-old girl has died following a dog attack in a local neighborhood.
Tyshawn Dawson joins us now. So Tyshawn, what do we know so far?
Well, right now, police are investigating how this happened and what led to the attack. The WFPD has confirmed that the tragic incident took place Sunday evening at a home on Wesley Drive. According to authorities, a pit bull broke out of its kennel and attacked a 2-year-old child.
That's unprovoked. Just broke out the kennel, launched an attack.
Despite the efforts of first responders, the child succumbed to her injuries at United Regional.
Say that again?
2-year-old child. Despite the efforts of first responders, the child succumbed to her injuries at United Regional.
Okay, so the child was at the hospital, which means what? The child was tortured and took forever to pass. In all types of pain, tortured, but you never hear them use that word. They don't use the word torture when it comes to a victim that the dog attacked, ever. Why don't you use it here? And again, it's a recent story, surfaced just a couple days ago. Dog lovers, as a group, y'all look so bad as a group. I don't understand why you would even want to be a dog lover. Why would you want to be a member of this group? See, young people gonna see this, and they're gonna follow us. They're gonna follow what we're doing. Now, what's up with people? I've dealt with this before. Always dumping dogs, getting rid of them. That's another way they display that dogs are unwanted. They're the most unwanted so-called pets in the world.
A man accused of dumping a dog on the side of the road in Dallas has been arrested. The incident was caught on camera near Dowdy Ferry Road. A man left a German Shepherd mix and then drove away. Well, police say Ramiro Zuniga is the man seen in this video.
Look at it. At worthless parasitic leech. That's why they follow you around the house, dog lovers. This is not love. It's not companionship. It's behaving like a parasite. Its host is leaving, so it's following for food.
Ramiro Zuniga is the man seen in this video. Police say they obtained a search warrant and found the vehicle used in this video at Zuniga's home.
Yeah, chase it, worthless mutt. Now, he shouldn't have done that. That's very dangerous, big idiot. But I do appreciate seeing a parasite no longer to leech. What a useless. Why don't y'all look at dogs as the welfare queens of the animal world? And why don't you look down on them because they are the welfare queens of the animal world? The only ones that need us to take care of them. You make fun of people like that, but dogs get elevated above people.
At Zuniga's home, he was arrested and taken to jail. He now faces an animal cruelty charge, which is a misdemeanor. That dog was rescued. It is now in the custody of Dallas Animal Services.
So it can get adopted out. So it can get adopted out and annoy somebody else, so they can get rid of it too. Why don't you let this lady have it? Look at her. Look at what the dog lovers do. We know this? Is this a guy? It seemed like I recognize this person. Don't y'all recognize this person? He looks very familiar. This joker, I think it's a woman though. Look at her. Look at the boots here. She got some boots here with no socks, it look like. And they're just sitting on the ground. Look how nasty this is. Ugh. But my point was, why didn't they use the word torture? They never do when it's a victim of a dog attack. Again, that's criminal. Now, actually, 3 weeks ago, here it is right here. This is that video where they caught the grandmother and the 18-year-old. Yeah, I knew I had it. But these things are getting dumped. Okay, check. And that's a huge problem. Here's another video on dog dumping. Just surfaced 4 weeks ago. Out of Houston.
Live and work there will tell you that a number of dogs are dumped regularly in Cleveland and die horrible deaths because of it. It is a reality that hits close to home for a Houston-based rescue working to end cruelty to animals on the northeast side of town. I spent some time with the nonprofit Corridor Rescue to learn more about their mission and how you can help.
We've picked up many dogs from that. There's a little neighborhood back there. Yeah. The bayou is at the end of the street.
It's another morning along the feed route for Beth Lovell, a longtime volunteer and board member with the nonprofit Corridor Rescue.
Let's see what's going on here. 3 doggies.
Their mission is to help the dogs who roam an area known as the Corridor of Cruelty, a 14-square-mile area of northeast Houston where dogs are routinely dumped. Many of them are found in poor shape, injured, starving, on the verge of death, or already dead. On this particular morning, we find the remains of a dog who appeared...
And who cares? And your point? They're starving because they're full of parasites. And parasites eating them up. They just come dump dog food on the ground. Get out of here. You could have euthanized them and pocketed some of that money.
In poor shape, injured, starving, on the verge of death, or already dead. On this particular morning, we find the remains of a dog who appeared to have been set on fire. The image so disturbing, we're blurring the video.
Nobody set that mud on fire. Get out of here.
Ditches, I've seen live dogs, I've seen dead dogs, I've seen puppies. I mean, I'm talking tiny puppies.
Nothing surprises you at this point?
No.
Did this surprise you?
This surprised me, yes. This is...
Look at this lady. Why do these nutters always look like this?
This was so bad that the feeder who reported it said, I will not send pictures. And I can see why.
She'll report this to the city, but it won't likely lead to whoever's responsible. She's developed the kind of thick skin needed to continue on, returning to more animals in need.
They're not animals, and they don't just roam. They are constantly dumped. Constantly. Listen to the numbers on just this one area.
How do you recover from those types of discoveries on a daily basis?
I'm pretty stoic. I think I've become hardened to it over the years. I hate to say that. You just try not to think about it, you know? You try to think of the ones that you do save, that you do bring in. Mama, you ready for your freedom ride?
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let me get to the slip lead to get you loaded up.
You need to get out of the streets.
This sweet girl who'd been on the street for months was saved on this day and is now getting the medical treatment she needs while she waits for her forever home. Chris Day, the general manager of this U-Haul on Mason, was feeding her but couldn't take her home and was so grateful she was able to leave with the rescue.
I'm so happy for you, baby.
Oh my gosh.
You got a new home. Be a good girl, okay?
The dog is just begging for food. It's not being affectionate. Come over there to see if it could get some food. These dumb dogs, they are not aware of anything else that they receive from you. They don't understand what this dog does not understand that this guy is showing physical affection to him. Like, Lord, why do y'all have to believe that dogs have the same brain as we do? Their brain is actually the opposite of ours. Why don't y'all consider that and act on that? Why don't you act on the type of brain that they have at least? Instead, y'all want to pretend they have the same as us. Y'all need help, man.
Beth's mission is to not just save lives, but to bring about awareness. If you're not out here, she says, you have no way of knowing how harsh
these things' lives are not valuable. Their lives are counterproductive. Counterproductive. They don't contribute nothing to our society. Nothing. They only leech and destabilize people, families. Get out of here. And how does it feel, again, giving them all this food and to know that they don't even appreciate it? If they could talk, they would not thank you for it. Get out of here.
Reality is.
And when you're not in the situation where you don't live in a neighborhood where you see strays running around, it's hard for you to believe that it really is a thing so close to home.
Would you say, Beth, that this problem every year gets worse?
It definitely gets no better. it's pretty stagnant. I've done this for 11 years and I have not seen any improvement at all.
Yeah.
Now, everything that
So you mean people are not starting to love these things like you do? Even with all these commercials and propaganda promoting them? What's the problem here? Y'all popping out movies every other month, Netflix specials and all this kind of stuff. Why isn't it working? Why are your shelters still, and notice their shelters are overflowing at the same time that they're rescuing dogs that have been dumped. I'd like to know their euthanasia rate, like right now as we speak. But listen, I don't care about your stupid dogs, the condition that they're in. I don't care that they want food. They should only get euthanasia. Now, if y'all can, I think this is a spinoff of dogsbite.org. I think it is. And it's a good spinoff. I shared this before, but the last time I shared it was years ago. And it's a list only of child attack victims of pit bulls only. You can see the one from the other day, Kingsley Wright. They update this thing constantly. The one with the 2-year-old I just showed right here. So I think it is an offset or moderated by the same people or person that does or owns Dogs Bite. But yeah, why should we care about anything that these mutants want? I don't care about their food or nothing like that. Now, in all reality, they should show photos of the victims, not only the fatal attack victims, but also the youngsters who lived through it. They should show them, right, side by side, these nutter articles and promos. But this is deep. How deep is this? And they're still trying to convince us. Look, oh, my goodness. I didn't want to, but I may as well briefly deal with this. Because this is bad.
The face of a pit bull is so scary that it'll scare a baby up to the point of nightmares. This turns out to be false.
Okay, your stupid intro. Listen to this.
Be scared of the face of a baby can't be scared of the face of a pit bull. This is due to the fact that the part that recognizes and distinguishes faces hasn't yet developed, nor the part.
A baby cannot be afraid of a pit bull. So just think of how vulnerable your brain is when you're that young. That is crazy. This should definitely be illegal.
Nor the part that judges faces. The way babies see dogs is very different from that of adults. So the fear of dogs is extremely common for older children, as they've now managed to create an opinion about dogs. So this...
You heard that? So in other words, when they get older to understand, that's when you start seeing young people who don't like dogs. But listen to what he goes on to say.
About dogs. So this is related to the development stage of children. Also, what influences older...
And notice how they keep showing these dangerous scenarios like this one, which is a scenario that their own experts advise you against. They tell you not to put your face in a dog's face. This is crazy.
Children to have a good or bad opinion about a dog is their parents' relationship with the dog. According to a study, children aren't naturally
Did you hear that? Did you just hear that?
Relationship with the dog. Children to have. So this is related to the development stage of children. Also, what influences older children to have a good or bad opinion about a dog is their parents' relationship with the dog. According to a study, children aren't naturally afraid of dogs.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Your story is wrong. That is a lie.
It's completely the opposite. For children, dogs are interesting and fun. A child's relationship with the dog is very special and has nothing to do with a specific breed. But pit bull and many other breeds are considered to be unsuitable for children. A very interesting fact is that in a time in history, somewhere at the end of the 19th century and beginning of the 20th century, pit bulls were called nanny dogs because it was said that children and even babies were left alone with pit bulls and without any other supervision. However, there are some that say that this is somewhat an invention to improve the bad reputation of pit bulls. Their involvement in continuous breeding for dog fighting has influenced that today's pit bulls are not only misunderstood, but also have a kind of mistrust towards them. However, pit bull and all dog breeds create very special bonds with children.
Okay, at this point, it starts getting real ridiculous. You heard what he just said.
And all dog breeds create very special bonds with children. A still unexplained part remains how dogs with their sense of smell can tell the difference between adults and babies. From the moment when dogs see and sniff a baby, they start to be more careful. This can be seen in how your dog reacts when a baby is crying, or how happy he is if a baby is laughing. It's been proven that the interaction of babies with dogs increases the levels of serotonin and dopamine, which are the chemical building blocks of building positive feelings. According to some tests, dogs are much more patient and gentle with babies than with adults. Also, as soon as they develop the relationship, dogs start to become very protective of the babies. Whether in the park or at home, they're always in protecting mode.
Really? They're always in protecting mode. And they instantly bond with them, huh? Yet, they're the only ones that have produced a list like this, and this is just fatalities. The scam is real. You know, the propaganda is real. Yeah, I'm too disturbed by websites like this to care about a hungry dog who just so happened to be the creatures that produced this list that I'm disturbed by. So I don't think y'all can manufacture some argument of me being immoral. But shout out to you, dog lovers. And shout out to all of the rest of you who were able to join me on this live stream. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.